Hello guys, welcome back to Dunking Monkey. I asked in my Discord server for content suggestions. One of you suggested to make a tier list for E1 players, so I am making one today. If you want to suggest contents, welcome to join my Discord group. Link in my pinned comment. Back to the video. Players today are all E1. New players can take a reference of this ad. Choose your player at the start. For mid and high ranks players, I suggest you go watch my tier list video for LeBron patch. Assume they are maxed in talents and levels, and they had the correct potential sets. I am doing superstars today. I think superstars are the only problem with lack of enhancements. Everyone should have at least one maxed out elites, so I am not doing it for elite players. Now let's start the video with SGA. Compared to E7 SGA, E1 SCA has slightly weaker defense and a way more weaker and accurate shot accuracy. E2 doesn't affect much for scorers, it increases the chances for passive steals. What really matters is his E6 enhancement. He can receive extra 3-point accuracy after shooting twice. Without E6, he would miss a bunch of 3 south. But since we are comparing two other E1 players, SGA is still one of the best scoring options. The second character is Droz. If Droz doesn't have E2, his scoring efficiency will experience a big drop. His E2 allows him to switch modes mid-possession. Without E2 he cannot only stay on one mode for the entire possession, and it will be too easy to guard. And E6 grants him different kinds of buffs based on which mode he is in. Without E6 his shot accuracy is inconsistent, so I will put him at T2. Yes, I put him in wrong place. Next, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie is known for two things in Taiwan. First is he is incredibly hard to play with. Second is he is incredibly expensive. E3 and E6 gives him a lot of shot accuracy and also shrinks in contest zones. Without enhancements, Kyrie is even inconsistent from mid-range, but a good Kyrie is T2. Yes, I put in wrong place again. Next is Steph Curry. Curry has no shot accuracy buffs from his enhancements buffs. As a scorer, that is indeed excellent, but it's better to have at least E2, since his movement speed is increased with ultimate on. His dash cooldown is also reduced, and it is important for off-ball scorers. Next is Tyrese Haliburton. Like Curry, his enhancements has no accuracy buffs. However, E7 Holly has a higher shooting speed and can hit deeper shots, but if you don't know how to guard him, no matter how slow the release speed is, you still not contesting. Next, Jason Kidd. As a stealing-based defender, his stealing threat is way too low in E1. He lost his ability to steal the ball quick after force stop. Without ultimate, Kidd is not likely to steal the ball. Opponents can pass the ball out and reset the ball. With his 6 unlocked, he has a way more higher chance to steal the ball. Therefore, I am not putting him anywhere above T2. Wayne Wade. His enhancements still would T-buff his shot accuracy, but his defense is weakened. He has to be at max passive most of the time if you want to have good defense. E2 gave Dwayne a stack of passive at the start of the game. He also made Dwayne to stack passive in defensive positions. This helps stacking passives way more easier, and he can convert extra passives to vertical and steal. When you have a 360 steal already in maxed passive, and you are still stacking your steal stat by converting extra passives, it helped Dwayne become one of the best defenders in scorers. However, since we are comparing Dwayne to E1, despite harder to stack passives, his offense is still pretty hard to stop. Next, Ray Allen. His enhancements give him extra defense. For E2 he would receive extra movements for contested shots, which can be implied in off-ball movement. His E7 gives him additional 5 3-point stat. His 3-point accuracy isn't at Curry level, so you might want a higher enhancement, unless it'll be too bricky. I am giving him to T2. Next, Tracy McGrady. If you watch my channel long enough, you know he is slow and easy to contest. At E1 he didn't have the accuracy buff in E2. He also didn't have the ignore contests after successfully pump faked effect in E7, which makes teammate unusable even more unusable. You can play him in low ranks, but after reaching platinum, you can reset him. Next, James Harden. E1 Harden is a walking brick, brickier than Ray Allen, and his original moveset isn't really hard to guard to. If you want to play him, at least E2. Next, old LeBron James. Defensive master even without enhancements. His enhancements mostly increases his offensive threat, but he is still bad at offense when maxed. It's too big of a liability on offense, so T3. And I realize I forgot Koei. His passive is already deadly without enhancements. He is arguably one of the best defender without enhancements. But if you want to main him, get him to max. His fancy 3-point and E6 is important. Next, Prime LeBron. I don't need to explain how overpowered he is. You can still dominate the court without enhancements even if you're brain dead. However, it is still better to have E to 4 shot accuracy. Jaylen Brown. His enhancements don't affect much as a defender. He is one of the best E1 defenders alongside with Koei. He also has outstanding offensive moveset as a defender. Definitely get him if you're looking for a two-way player, but more defensive. Kevin Durant. His moveset is too simple and is very slow in defense without E2. Jimmy Butler. He is pretty good at E1, the best Prime LeBron counter currently, and only his E6 would affect his defense. E6 allows Butler to reset his ultimate duration when opponents didn't score on him. Overall, Butler is good for E1. Next is the ultimate payday. Karl Malone is still very good at E1. The only thing that might affect him is his slower stacked passives, which might affect his offensive performance. But it might hurt the team with only 180 block without fully stacked passives. So he is T1. I made changes when I'm editing the video. His enhancements give him extra defensive abilities. It's mostly solo defending, which Rodman does not need. Rodman has the best rebounding in the game. In exchange, his defense is one of the worst in centers, therefore only in T2. Dirk Nowitzki. His enhancements give him accuracy buff. However, they only buff him once he grabs rebounds or blocks a shot. As a scorer, he doesn't do these often. The enhancement that truly matter is his fancy shots, which increase 3-point stats and release speed. However, Nowitzki is still out T2 because of how weak his defense is. And once you reach slightly higher ranks, his moves aren't enough unless you're skilled. Jason Tatum. He is still decent at E1, but it is better to have him at E2. His unique double mode mechanics made him one of the most versatile defenders in the game. E2 gives him 1200 morale at the start of the game, which is enough to switch modes twice. It is better to have him at E2. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is mid without his ultimate, and without enhancements, his ultimate's duration is too short. Paul Pierce. Enhancements gave Paul Pierce better shot accuracy. E1 Paul Pierce is a little bit bricky, but he is still hard to contest and has decent defense. Therefore, he is the tail of T1. Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace's defense is reduced at E1, but not by a lot, and is still playable without enhancements. He is the best defensive center in the game. Hakeem Olajuwon. Olajuwon without enhancements have reduced mid-range accuracy and rebounding. However, he has the second best offensive center in the game and is still a threat. He is still good compared to other E1, but it's better to unlock helicopter like other centers. Anthony Davis. You're likely to get out-rebounded every game if you don't have E2. His rebound stat is too low. I recommend to go for E2 or E3 helicopter. Joel Embiid. Embiid's 3-point threat is reduced. Without E2, Embiid might also be struggling to grab rebounds, which might affect his passive stacking. He is still the best offensive center in global, but in Taiwan there are better centers. Pau Gasol. Still one of the best spacing center in Taiwan. However, at E1, his ultimate is weakened by a lot. He has a pretty big chance of triggering failed rebounds in E1, which basically wasted all your morale. So head him to E2 or E3 helicopter. Last, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic isn't any good even at E7. Weak on defense and rebound, and his offense is not enough to cover that up. At E1 he doesn't even have contest zone shrinks after his screen dash. Opponents still can easy follow up his dash. And that is all for today's video. If you are interested in max enhancement players tier list, welcome to look at my LeBron patch trio tier list.
Goodbye!